The most dangerous thief in your financial life is not a pickpocket. It is not someone reaching into your pocket in a crowded street. It is not the stranger you fear in the dark. The real thief is often much closer than that. It is the voice you allow to whisper in your ear every single day. The Bible does not only warn us about money. It warns us about counsel. It warns us about the people we listen to. It warns us about the voices we trust when our future, our calling, and our obedience are on the line. Proverbs is clear. Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise. But if you walk with the wrong people, you will eventually inherit their limits, their fears, and their failures. That is why your financial life is not shaped only by your income. It is shaped by your environment. It is shaped by the advice you keep accepting. It is shaped by the words you allow to settle inside your spirit until they begin to sound like truth. If you want to build your life God's way, you must stop taking money advice from these 5 people. First, the fearful person who calls fear wisdom. This person sounds practical, responsible, careful, mature, and that is exactly why they are so convincing. They are not telling you to destroy your life. They are not telling you to be reckless. They are simply telling you to wait, to hold back, to stay where it feels safe, to avoid risk, to delay obedience until everything feels comfortable. But faith does not work like that. In Matthew 25, the servant who was given 1 talent did not waste it in wild living. He did not throw it away. He buried it because he was afraid. And his master did not praise his caution. He called him wicked and lazy. That should make every believer pause. Because fear can disguise itself as wisdom, fear can dress itself in responsible language. Fear can sound calm, careful, and reasonable. But when fear keeps you from multiplying what God placed in your hands, it becomes costly. Fear is expensive. It costs you growth. It costs you movement. It costs you opportunity. It can keep you standing in the same place while calling that stillness wisdom. Never confuse hesitation with discernment. Never confuse delay with obedience. At some point, playing it safe becomes a spiritual excuse for standing still. Second, the shortcut person who seeks wealth without righteousness. This person always has a faster way, a faster deal, a cleaner-looking compromise, a hidden path where the numbers look good, but the conscience starts bleeding quietly in the background. They make compromise sound reasonable. They will tell you that everyone cuts corners. They will tell you that integrity is a luxury you cannot afford yet. They will tell you that once you have enough money, then you can become careful, honest, and clean. But that voice is a trap. Once you learn to ignore your conscience for the sake of cash, something inside you begins to break. You may gain profit, but lose peace. You may increase your account, but damage your soul. Proverbs warns that wealth gained hastily will dwindle. Money that enters through a broken door never brings peace. A fast dollar is never worth a dirty conscience. Not every open door is from God. Not every deal is worth your integrity. Not every opportunity deserves your yes. Because if the money requires you to betray what God has already convicted in your heart, then it is not provision. It is a test. Third, the loved one who mistakes comfort for wisdom. This is the hardest voice to ignore because it does not always come from jealousy. It does not always come from pride. Sometimes it comes from genuine love. They want to protect you. They hate the thought of seeing you fail. They do not want to watch you suffer, struggle, lose, or get wounded. And because they love you, their warning can feel safe. Their concern can feel holy. But love is not the same as discernment. Some of the most limiting advice you will ever hear may come from people who care for you deeply, but do not understand what God is building in your life. In Matthew 16, Peter spoke to Jesus out of love. He did not want Jesus to suffer. He did not want the road ahead to include pain. Yet in that moment, he was trying to pull Jesus away from his divine assignment. A caring voice becomes a limiting voice when it teaches you to choose comfort over obedience. So respect love, honor concern, but do not let someone else's fear reshape your calling. Do not let someone else's desire for your safety talk you out of what God has assigned to your hands. Fourth, the successful-looking person whose life has no fruit. We live in an era where image is built faster than character. A person can look successful before they are stable. They can appear wise before they are tested. They can build visibility before they build integrity. And people follow influencers because visibility feels like credibility. But Jesus never said you will know them by their platform. He said you will know them by their fruit. So before you let someone disciple your financial decisions, look deeper. Is there integrity behind the image? Is there peace in private, or only performance in public? Is there stewardship before God, or only success in front of people? Some people know how to market success without knowing how to steward it before God. Do not let a spotlight disciple your decisions. Image attracts attention, but only fruit earns trust. Fifth, the bitter person who speaks from unhealed pain. Pain often sounds like honesty. And sometimes, this person has truly been through something real: betrayal, loss, failure, disappointment. Their pain deserves compassion, but it must not become your compass. Unresolved pain turns into cynicism, and to a bitter person, every opportunity looks like a scam. Every act of faith looks naive. Every step forward looks dangerous. Their advice is always the same: trust less, risk less, expect less, believe less. Hebrews warns about a root of bitterness that grows in secret and poisons everything, so respect what they survived. Listen with compassion, but do not let their wounds define your future. Your financial future is not shaped only by what enters your hands. It is shaped by what enters your ears. The wrong voice will keep you hesitant when God says move. Compromised when God says stay clean. Small when God says grow. Ask God to purify your counsel. Your future is too important to be shaped by people God never told you to follow. Lord, lead every decision I make, because when God changes the voices around you, He begins changing the direction of your life.